Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, this is an update to the S031G modifications I've been doing. I've got the camo parts back on the heli now, and I also swapped out the engines. The motors that were originally in there were from the original red heli that I painted camo. Those engines were running on a 7.4 volt lithium ion, which is this guy here. And but I hadn't swapped out the engines. I'd left the engines alone, and that gave me a lot of power. And I only needed about a quarter throttle, if that, to get off the ground once I had swapped in the 9.6 battery pack and the PCB board from my other heli, and from my other bronze one, which is an S031G as well. So anyway, it's not a gearing issue, it's actually the battery issue. So the gearing ratios are exactly the same between the S031 and the S031G. Where the difference is actually in the motors. Now in the 7.4 volt motors, you're going to see a set of numbers like this. Okay, these are for the 7.4 volt. When you have the 9.6 volt motors, they will be just S031G on them, which is what these ones have. There's no extra writing. It's just S031G, and I think there's a beginner number here. Yeah, OT S031G. Now that's just the 9.6 volt motors. So now I'm back to normal again. So now it is going to take about half a throttle to get off the ground, which is fine. The drawbacks that I've been finding, because I've been doing a lot of flight testing with this thing and took some serious crashes, which is why my gold canopy is no longer on here, and I switched back to the camo stuff. I shattered my canopy in about 4 or 5 different spots now. So it's toast. But so if you're going to do any of these kind of swap outs, like even to do the battery thing, I wouldn't recommend going with just the 9.6 LiPo to the 7.4 volt board. You could probably get away with it. I don't know for how long, but you know, you may or may not have problems. But certainly putting matched motors in, I mean, you're going to have that 9.6 volts. You're not going to get that little power mod, per se, when you match everything up the way it should. But you are going to get the better flight time, and you're not going to toast your engines, because these are only brushed engines, and you don't want to toast them. And these turned out, what's been going on with my flight time is I'm not getting a full flight time that I would normally get previous. Okay, it got a little shorter. The battery got really hot. The motors got extremely hot because I'm putting 9.6 volts into 7.4 volt motors. They just don't want to take it. So if I let the thing cool off for half an hour, I could go back out and fly for another couple of minutes. So it's a big overheat issue that's going to start happening when you try swapping even just the battery and pushing that voltage in, or if you're swapping the battery and the PCB board and leaving those 7.4 volt engines in there. You're going to have a lot of overheat issues. And you don't want to overheat a LiPo cell too many times either, because otherwise you might end up catching it on fire in flight. So anyways, we put her back to normal, and but our engines were fine. They're all survivable. So the 7.4 engines that I have are still good, which is actually a bonus. Because I picked up another heli at the source, and you wouldn't believe this except to see it. This is the Estes helicopter, and let me just get past the camera here. The code number on this is WE2012, and if you put it up against the S031G, it's the exact same helicopter. Exactly the same. No difference. Well, it's actually an S031 because it's a 7.4 volt. So it's not the G series, which is the 9.6. Okay, and that's where the difference is. The G series already has all the 9.6 hardware. But the S031s, even in the same color, the gear system, the whole thing. And I mean, this is like half the price from Estes than what you would pay from Cobra and a couple other places. At least when you're shopping at the source. I mean, this was on for $100, and it actually came with 4 spare rotor blades, spare tail blade for the back tail rotor, and a screwdriver. So that was a bonus, because with the Cobra model and the SEMA model, you don't get 4 extra blades plus the rotor. You get a back rotor blade, and you usually get a screwdriver, but you don't get an extra set of full 4 rotor blades, which you get with the Estes. So, and the Estes remote control is exactly the same remote as our SEMA, or in this case Cobra, except for some stickers. It's exactly the same. So, a little bit of info there for you. So our mod update is such that we've put everything back to normal, and I'm going to leave it at that. I kind of sort of enjoyed the power trip a little bit that had happened. It was pretty cool for the first little while. But the biggest drawbacks there that were happening was the motors were overheating, and I was losing flight time, and I was definitely overheating the battery. So enough of that sort of stuff. So we'll just leave her stock and just kind of go with that. But at least everything now is full 9.6, which is where I want it anyways. And I just keep flying it that way. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.